Hello YouTube pipers, it's OO's Pipe here, or just plain Rick, whichever. I was going to start it off by using the cob today. I haven't smoked the cob in a while, along with that is Carter Hall. Honest. Alright, let's get this here tobacco in here. I do have my tamper today. Alrighty. That one jar has lasted a good while. I'm surprised. Of course, I've only been smoking one bowl a day. Anyway, I have a cool drink. It's a mixture of a pale ale and I'll be jiggered if I can think what the other is. But it tastes good. And I thought I'd see if I get a little on the drunk side as time goes on. Sometimes I'm tempted to inhale that, but that's a no-no. I've been smoking this for a week now, or more, because I can't remember exactly when we started this. And for the life of me, I can't taste any of these flavors you people talk about. All I know is it rolls across the tongue, and it's pleasant when it doesn't burn your tongue. Let me put this aside for a sec. I want to show this to you because a friend of mine has published his book. He was the mayor of Folly Island here on the coast of South Carolina. We used to spend many a day down at Folly Beach, and then when he grew up, or when we grew up, he was voted in as mayor. I think he was there for 7 years. While I was off in several different areas of the country over the years. Anyway, I don't know if you can see that or not, but that's the book he published. What happened? That's the book he published. And if anybody's interested on the East Coast, and as they call Folly Beach, the edge of the world, I believe they call it. But anyway, Richard and I were good friends way back in grammar school. We used to meet here and at his house. His house was just down the street back then. Of course, there's been so much construction things have changed quite a bit in this neighborhood. This house still is built in '59, so it's still here. I think when I'm passed on, the kids won't keep it, but they'll keep this piece of property, I hope, because it's a nice piece of property. Just need to do something about the flooding problem, but they could put a nice house on this, up on stilts if necessary. As long as they can keep the oaks and the palms, it'll be good. Anyway, Richard and I were, like I say, good friends back in grammar school, in Riverland Terrace School. RTS is the initials that it had, and we called it Rotten Tomato Soup, as we sat in the auditorium listening to teachers tell us what to do. It was through Richard's endeavors that I was able to get into the Boy Scouts and go on a camping trip way back then. I'll tell you about that one day. But I've been thinking about one that he and I and his cousin, who passed away a few years ago, we walked back into the woods, and we carried sleeping bags and all the stuff you need to build fires and food to cook over the fires. And we walked. We thought we had walked forever, but it was just, excuse me, it was just through the forest and into the marsh area. And construction people had built or had dug out a pit and put the mounds of dirt from that pit into a hilly section, and the pit was filled with water. By the time we got there, it was dusk and the sun had gone down, so we lit a fire. And had it burning by the time the darkness had fallen. And above us was a humongous silvery moon, full moon, beautiful moon. And the whole land was covered in this silvery light. We had camped up on top of the hills that they made from the dirt they dug out of that ditch. And we started cooking, and after we ate, we started telling each other stories, which eventually got down to the ghost stories. And while we were telling ghost stories, all the crickets and such just went dead quiet. And we noticed that right off. And it made us kind of nervous because those crickets and all the other bugs out there had been quite noisy. Then we started hearing movement in the brush. And that made us even more nervous. And the moon was just light enough so we could see over where the forest ended. And we were all looking around, trying to figure out why it had gotten so quiet. And the moon's silvery glow had just made the whole landscape eerie. The clouds up in that dark sky were silvery also, and they were drifting along at a rapid pace. Could have been ghosts up there for all we know. Well, we all started looking around to see what was going on, and we heard the noise in the bushes again. And I don't know which one of us screamed, but one of us screamed. I want you to think it wasn't me. Anyway, one of us screamed. Because coming out of that bush over yonder was a white, looked like face or something that was moving towards us. And we slipped down the other side of the hill so maybe it wouldn't see us, whatever it was. The danger was we might have slipped into that water because it was just crumbly dirt. I mean, it wasn't anything that was stable. But anyway, we peeked up over the hills and we saw that white figure coming at us. The moon was shining, then the clouds went over the moon, and we lost sight of that white figure. And we hunkered down behind that hill, all kind of shivering. And then as the cloud passed, lighting the landscape up again, we looked over, and I think it was Richard, but I'm not sure, had his face licked. Or maybe it was me, I don't know. But anyway, a face was licked, a scream came from the mouth, and my dog backed up and looked at the person he had just licked and did this number. I had a collie back in those days that was white face, and most of the body was white with maybe a little patching of brown and darkness. And her name was Princess. And it was Princess who had been let out by my folks and had sniffed our trail over to the area where we were camping. And we all were so glad it wasn't what we thought it was, because we thought we had a haint on our tail and we were scared stiff. That was quite a night. So we decided maybe we should just either go to sleep or pack it up and go home. Yeah, Richard was a good friend. His cousin was a good friend too. Sorry he passed away. But that was our excursion out. We didn't have a name for that place. We just called it the Hills, I think. It's just a dog. It's in the neighborhood. It's out there. It's not in here. You can go lay down. You're all right. Nothing's wrong. It's okay. Anyway, that's Hunter. He was looking to see where that dog was barking. All right. I didn't have anything more to say. I had been thinking about that time when we went camping way back when. It was from this house that we walked and went back to that area. I will say, I hope everyone is fine. I hope that your day went well. And I'll say God bless until the next time.